What's going on in Paltz right now, New York right now? You got a river of dirty money holding it afloat. Initially, at the end of the day, what you got is a bunch of you have a lot of drugs floating around, and a lot of cops know what's going on, but they're so say, well, I don't want to violate their civil rights. It's like, yeah, you're not violating their civil rights if you're scaring people into actually intimidating people into obeying the law. That would be wrong, really, because I see cops do it in towns like Poughkeepsie and Newburgh all the time, and they effectively save lives. Like, why don't you do what other police do? Stop and frisk. Be jerks for once. Treat those you know are drug addicted like crap, like other cops do, and motivate them to stop what they're doing. Raid bars, shake things up, pick people up for questioning, turn people against each other, and trick them into snitching. That's what real cops do when you have the body count going up. You know, it's obvious that there's a river of dirty money keeping that town afloat. One of the biggest property owners in town has made a stream of financially horrible decisions that normally anybody else would have to file for bankruptcy. What's going on? What's wrong with that picture? You have some businesses that are open for business where there's barely a body of people going in and out. And you think, okay, dude, it must cost you hundreds of dollars a day in electric and heat alone and power and water just to keep everything on. How the hell are you breaking even at the end of the month? You know, at the end of the day, and the drug-related deaths are going up. Things are getting worse. You know, now there's a new campaign election going up for the state governor of New York. You know, if the Republicans win, there's a strong possibility within 2 to 3 years that that the law enforcement is going to come crashing down on New Paltz, New York. How do I know? I saw this happen in another community. See, George Pataki beat Mario Cuomo back in the 90s for governor of New York. Within about a couple of years, a bar called the Town Tavern got raided. That was the dive bar of Ellenville. You wanted pussy, you wanted drugs, you wanted anything, any kind of vice, any kind of illegal vice you wanted, they had. Also, there was a lot of crack, a lot of cocaine floating around to other neighboring towns in the Hudson Valley area. And meanwhile, you had a river of dirty money holding the town afloat. You had a lot of bars going on, a lot of bars. Some of them had outdated liquor licenses. A lot of things that just everybody turned a blind eye to. That is until a new governor took over. The body count went up, and the governor's office got flooded with phone calls because people got tired of it. Well, the Town Tavern got raided by 3 different agencies: state police, DEA, and the FBI. Today, the Town Tavern isn't even standing. The place is torn down. But after the Town Tavern, one by one, all the bars in town dropped like flies. First the Town Tavern, then the other place in the playground, then the other place bar. I mean, dude, I can go on all day. Then there was another bar, that pretty much as you're driving up toward the mountain. I forgot the name of that bar. But all the bars in Ellenville, they just dropped like flies. Eventually, the only bar that was left in the area was the Running Deer Inn in Napanoch, New York. And that's still up and running today. But that bar in Napanoch Napanoch and Ellenville might as well just be one community because they're both so close to each other and they're kind of tied into each other's business in all various ways. First the bars went, then the mom and pop shops went one by one by one by one. The fast food chains went one by one by one. Last thing to go was the Ellenville Grand Hotel. Sad part is the Rat Pack used to stay there. Dean and Lewis stayed there. Marilyn Monroe slept there. You know, I mean, everybody from Dennis Leary to Ralph Macchio, I mean, you name it. A lot of celebrities have used to go to the Ellenville Grand Hotel, and it closed down. You know, eventually, biggest realtor in town had about 16 different dive rooming houses or apartment houses that he never fixed up. They just seemed to be getting worse and worse and worse every year. He had shoddy handymen doing basically cosmetic work on all of his housing, and meanwhile, all his buildings were hilariously permission out of the code, very poorly managed. And he himself never went belly up or had to file for bankruptcy. Any other landlord or any other realtor, any other property owner would have had to file for bankruptcy because the bank would have repossessed, or they would have been shut down eons ago. Well, the businesses got shut down eventually. The government started questioning, dude, why do you have like over 16 apartment houses, and yet not a single moment do you have to file for bankruptcy? Well, turns out that guy was the biggest drug smuggler in the area. He got busted and went to prison. Unfortunately, his adult children had to pay dozens and dozens of dollars of cash revenue, backdated taxes to the IRS. See, that's the fucked up part about being a drug smuggler, that your family has to pay your debt when you go to prison. They're going to collect from somebody. Now that family doesn't own anything. We got a bunch of empty properties that nobody wants. And every year, another family leaves Ellenville, New York. And today, New Paltz, New York is making all of Ellenville's old mistakes. Back in the late 90s, that town was jumping. It was bustling with activity. Lots of bars, lots of women, lots of activity. There was a scene. Now Ellenville is practically a ghost town today. Everyone says Ellenville is making a comeback. Ellenville will never make a comeback. That town will be enduring the karma for decades and decades of mistakes and gaining having the financial gain off the misery of other people. Let's face it. People know, and the Band-Aid got ripped off. A lot of family names got right through the dirt. A lot of people are publicly disgraced, and they're still being publicly disgraced in that town. That's why a lot of people who grew up there won't go back, because they can't. New Paltz is making all the same mistakes today. A river of dirty money is keeping the town afloat. A lot of problems are being brushed under the rug. Things that the cops should be enforcing are not being done or not being dealt with. I can go on all day. Am I painting a clear picture? Now, I challenge both governing candidates. Acting Governor Cuomo right now, and the Republican guy running against him. Whoever wins, do you have the courage to do something about corruption in small town America? Do you? Do you have the courage and the nerve to sit there and say, you know what? I don't give a fuck if New Paltz, New York is a college town. Oh, last but not least, every Monday there's a creepy dude who drives up from New Jersey to an open mic night event in a coffee shop. From New Jersey to New Paltz. From New Paltz to New York City alone, it's about 200 miles. From where he drives, is to drive an additional 200 miles just to get to the city. That's about 400 miles every Monday. People say, what's wrong with that? He lies about his age and goes to a coffee shop where the majority of college girls are young, well under 21. Some of them are Mensa students that are still they're 17 and 16. Because New Paltz has Mensa students. Known for having an excellent curriculum, SUNY New Paltz. What's wrong with that, Mike, dude? How many people I've met? So many people, locals who you think with their heads up their asses, they're like, no offense, man, but could you for once pretend like you don't mentally have your head crammed up your ass? And somebody got mad at me for saying, I'm like, all right, you're mad, understandably. That was insulting what I just said. However, it doesn't take away the fact that, oh yeah, how many episodes of Forensic Files or how many crime documentaries on the Discovery Channel start off where the rapist or the killer or whoever they may be their modus operandi starts off with that. Suspiciously driving long distances to be around a certain congregate around a group of people they got no business being around. And yet we're allowing it to go on in New Paltz. Are you fucking serious? Come on. Pretend like your brain is working. And they didn't like that either. Like, come on. Well, look at it this way. You naively go out of your way to shut me out, to buy into all this, everything's good, gosh, wonderful, and go out of your way to try and shut me up. I didn't give anybody any ammo to talk about me. I don't have creepy, disgusting behaviors like that. Anyway, again, whoever wins the state government campaign, which one of you have the balls and the nerve to go through with that? Because I personally would love to see something done about it.